I recently made a purchase in the mail.
What was that, Jalen?
What was that, Jalen?
Jazz?
It was something else too. What was it, Kellen?
Oh, it
What was
was
that?
Blurr.
That's not all, Gabe. What was it?
KUP.
3 in 1.
3 for 1!
3 for 1. We're gonna open these today. We're very excited about them.
Not good at all.
It was a 3 for 1.
It was a 3 for 1, but we're gonna open these today, and we're very excited about them. So
Let's get
let's
going.
just not waste any time.
Let's transform and roll out.
Alright guys, so we're going to start with the Studio Series 86 Jazz, and now I'm going to say right off the bat, I absolutely love this figure, and I'm a little bit biased just due to the fact that I really like jazz, but I feel like this figure in general is just one of the better ones that I've seen for Studio Series. He was very easy to work with, he was very flexible, very easy to pose, just a blast to play with, really.
Blaster, huh? I mean, what more is there to say about Jazz? It's Jazz. Everybody loves Jazz. He's your favorite Autobot, lieutenant of the Autobot team. I mean, this figure, look at him. He's very posable. He looks great. One weird thing is he's 14 and not 4. But, you know, that doesn't bother me too much. But, I mean...
He's the number on his...
The number on the side, yeah. Very easy transformation, as you guys can see from this. Which I very much appreciate a Transformer. I'm not going to lie to you guys, when it's really hard, I start to get mad.
I like one that's just sort of easy to pick up, and then, like, kind of... Like, if I can go back and forth, like, really quickly, play with it. Because, you know, I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and play with a toy for however long, but like it's fun to pick up, play with for a little bit, but there's a certain limit to that, I feel like.
But even like this Jazz, since he's so easy, it makes you want to play with him even more.
Exactly,
you know? Like
exactly.
And that's go forward and back so many times, and just literally look how easy this transformation is.
Right.
Like
no, and I know he's probably one of my favorite when it comes to like the smaller classes, the deluxe classes.
Yeah.
Definitely. And there's not really very many flaws with this figure. I will say that one of his wheels, I'll show it later on here too. It's just a little loose.
Loosey goosey.
Yeah, like that one right there. It's a little loose.
But if he's down on the ground,
but I mean, when you look at his car design is fantastic though. I think it's just amazing, and I think Jazz is just...
Yeah, literally look at him.
Amazing Autobot, amazing figure.
Yes. And his gun, his accessories are very nice, and he looks really good next to the Bumblebee. You'll see later, he looks really good next to just all the other 86 figures, and he's the first one, and they really started it off with a bang.
Next up, we got KUP, and KUP... you know, I don't know much about him, to be honest, at this point in my Transformers, like, knowledge. But I will say he is an interesting and fun bot to play with as well. I will say he's not the most posable. I found that he was kind of very limited in what his joints were just capable of doing. He wasn't very flexible. Definitely, like, when you compare him to Jazz, for example, he wasn't... definitely not as flexible, but as far as design goes, I feel like he has a really unique Transformer design, and as well as a really unique transformation.
Yeah, I agree with Jalen on the posability, but I think he really just makes up for it with just the way he looks. Like, he's much more humanoid-ish, you know?
Right.
Than I was expecting from him. And his transformation, on the other hand, is quite the opposite from Jazz, for me at least. His was pretty hard for me to understand. Honestly, I never even got him down. We had Kellen do this.
Yes, that's true. I didn't even want to attempt it because I tried... when I transformed him from car to robot, it was a little bit annoying, so I was like, I don't even want to try robot to car. That seems a little awful. I mean, I will go ahead and probably master it at some point, but like, it's just... He's a little bit weird, and you'll see...
Like that right there, his legs. I mean... Honestly, it's not too hard for me up until... I'll let you know later when Kellen does it, but it's with his... Maybe it's right here.
And like, look at how he bends into himself. It's a little bit like just uncomfortable looking, like not right,
Yeah. It's-
However,
It's bending the arms in right here. That's what for me got me. Like it wouldn't go in for me. I don't know why. I don't know how. Well, I see how to do it right now, but it just wasn't working for me. But other than that, those like things, he's a great looking figure. He looks. I mean, the paint is really good on him, and this vehicle form, I don't know.
I like it.
I don't know why,
it's-
but it just really speaks to me. I think it's one of the best looking vehicle forms.
It's-
Cybertronian vehicle forms.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's just the real Cybertronian aesthetic that it kind of has going for it.
Yeah.
Makes it pretty unique in my opinion when you really compare it to a lot of the other
And
more Earth-based vehicles.
And when Kellen puts them on like his wheels, like look at that, look at the like angle on that, I just think they did a fantastic job figuring out how to make him turn into that,
KUP is just really unique, and I feel like that's really what he has going for him. He's not the same as all these other figures that we have. He's kind of got his own little thing going.
He's got his
for
own
him.
style,
Yes.
But
he does.
like I said, posability not the greatest, but looks wise, and maybe that's just us. We're new to Transformers, so maybe we just don't know how to pose him the best.
Yeah, of course.
But looks wise and car mode, he's amazing.
Last up, we've got Blurr. That's Studio Series 86, number 3. Blurr, I thought this figure was also really, really fun to play with. He kind of has a lot of moving parts. He's also kind of unique.
Yes.
In contrast to KUP, though, I feel like he was posable and unique. So he's kind of got both of those things going for him. And I really liked his color and just all of his movable pieces. Like it made it fun to kind of pose him and do different things with him that I don't think you'd have the ability to with a lot of other Transformers. One thing that I feel like he has against him is just that he doesn't have wheels. His vehicle form does not have wheels, and I feel like if you're gonna transform, you need wheels. And I know I like I said, I'm not too familiar with Blurr in the show either. However, I've heard that he hovers, but I feel like for a toy, they still should have given him those wheels.
Yeah, I understand why he doesn't have wheels, so I'm not too mad at it because I know a little more about Blurr. But honestly, when I found out Jalen was getting Blurr, I was like, that's okay. But as soon as I got my hands on this figure, I was complete 180. He's very fun to have in my hands. I don't know. He's like Jalen said. He's good posability as well, but he also just looks good, like KUP, And the transformation much easier than KUP's. There's some annoying parts just clicking in, but
Yeah.
that's just me. I feel like any one of you guys would be fine with this transformation.
And I always like to think, like, how would this look, or how would this transform if I didn't have these instructions? I feel like for Blurr, he's one of those Transformers that I might have been a little bit confused at, but I feel like if I really tried to figure him out, it wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Too hard.
Too. Yeah.
Like Jazz, I feel like I could probably do without instructions. Blurr, honestly,
It would just take a little bit of time.
yeah, I could figure it out. I feel like.
KUP would be
KUP, I would never get KUP.
would really be difficult.
But as the third installation of the 86 series, I think they did a great job. These first 3 are all amazing.
And I'm kind of glad that they came in that pack together. I feel like they grouping all 3 of them together, it just kind of felt nice and
Because
really made a real round. Like when you see all of our Transformers, the Studio 86, like next to each other, they just look so cool, and I feel like it's a great addition to our collection.
Yeah, and it's cool that they put them with Jazz because, honestly, we might not have gotten them, but I'm glad that we did,
I agree.
Because look at those 3 together. They just look super good.
If I were to give them ratings, I would say Jazz is probably a 10 out of 10 for me. I would give Blurr, well, actually, I'll say KUP. I'll give KUP a 7 or maybe a 6.5 out of 10 low key, and I will give Blurr a 9 out of 10.
Okay. For me, Jazz is also a 10 out of 10. Definitely biased. We love Jazz, but he's also just a great figure. KUP, honestly, I would give an 8.5 out of 10. I really like KUP. And Blurr, at 8.